Hi everyone. So the next activity that I want to share and go over with you is the Scared Bear passage and the comprehension questions that go along with it. So if you have your passage with you, you can pull it out and you can read along as I'm reading. Or if you don't have your passage with you, you can just go ahead and listen to the story and then help me answer the questions as I go over those in just a second. So the title is called The Scared Bear. I'm an old bear, and I know how to find food in a campsite. When I saw the blue box with the white top, I knew it would have some cold goodies in it. If the car it was in was locked, I could easily reach in one of the open windows to grab some beef jerky. I lumbered over to the car, almost tasting that chewy jerky already. Then the most awful sound came from the tent. Mom, look at that huge bear. I rushed away to get breakfast somewhere safer. Kids, with their loud voices and creepy little hands, have scared me ever since I was a cub. Sounds like this bear's done this before. He's gone to a campsite to get out some food. So now I'm going to pull up our questions, and if you have yours, you can pull them out and answer them along with me. Or if you've already answered them, you could check your work with what we have here. And remember, if I get to a question that I'm unsure of, we always go back and check in our text to help us find it. So I'm going to keep that right there handy just in case I need it as I go over the questions. Number 1. Who told the story? And I'm going to look through my options. A boy? No, I know that's not right. A bear who was in the story? It was a bear, he says right here. I'm an old bear. Okay, so that one is a good option. An adult who was in the story? No. An animal who was not in the story. Well, it was an animal, but this one was in the story, so it's got to be B. So if you chose B, great job. Number 2. Where did the bear think the beef jerky could be? So our options are a tent, in a car, in a tree, and in a backpack. So if I look in here and I go back, right here, if the car it was in was locked, I could easily reach in one of the open windows to grab some jerky. I lumbered over to the car, so that means he kind of walked over to the car, almost tasting that chewy jerky already. So he thought the jerky was where? In the car. And we could rule these out. We know we didn't think jerky was in a tree, and it didn't really have anything about a backpack. And it did say, looking back, actually, it didn't say anything about a tent. Oh, it did. The awful sound came from the tent right here. I thought I had read that. But the awful sound is what came from the tent, not the jerky. So we can cross that as well. Number 3. What does the word lumbered mean in the passage? And I just shared that sentence with you and what it kind of meant. I lumbered over to the car. So if you lumbered over, let's look. The choices are he took, he ate, listened, or walked. And we already said that lumbered is like walking. And you could easily eliminate those questions. Number 4. Which of the following events happened first in the story? Okay, so now it's going to be very important that I read all of my choices because more than one of these could happen in the story, but we're looking for the one that happened first. So whenever you get a question like this, make sure, any question you need to make sure that you read all of the choices. However, you really have to be careful if you're sequencing and then go back and reference the text so that you can see which one happened first. Okay, so I'm going to look at my choices. A, the bear saw the blue box with a white top. Okay, and if I go in, I can see that that's right up here towards the top. When I saw the blue box with the white top, okay, so that's is right up there. The bear imagined it could taste jerky. So here's where my first one was. And if I look into here, almost tasting that jerky. So we know it can't be the second one because this one happens before the second one. So I'm going to cross out the B. C says the bear heard something from the tent. So I've still got my finger up here where the first one was. And I'm going to look where the sound, then this most awful sound came from the tent. It's still coming after this one, so I'm going to eliminate that option. The bear ran to a safer place. And I know that happened down here. He said, I rushed away to get breakfast somewhere else. So I can eliminate that, showing that the first thing that happened in the story was the bear saw the blue box. Right here. It's a good way just to check and make sure so you can find where each one of these falls in the story so you could see. Number 5. Why did the bear run away from the campsite? Well, I think I know the answer, but I'm going to double check and read all of them to make sure. Because I remember he said it was the most awful sound. It was a child screaming. So number 5. A, the bear heard a child's voice and was afraid of children. Well, that does kind of go along with it, so I might put a little mark here to say that that is an option for me. B, the bear heard the awful sound of a car starting and was afraid of cars. No, it wasn't a car. It had to do with children, so this is still right now my best option. C, the bear's mother called for breakfast. That wasn't happening. There was no other bear in the story. The last one, the bear made a loud noise getting the jerky and had to run away before people. Well, he didn't get any jerky, so that one is out. So A was the reason why he ran away from the campsite. So I'm going to color in option A. And when you're coloring this, I know I've said it before, you want to make sure you stay inside the circle because that's important when we take assessments and activities that we color in our choice very neatly. Because if we were to color in like this, that might look like a cross out. But colored in perfectly, I can clearly see that that's my choice and these are my options I've eliminated. So there you have it, boys and girls. Double check your work if you've already done it. If you didn't and you didn't have it with you and you're going to go back and redo it yourself, read your story and check for your answers in the passage. So great job. Thank you. And if you have any questions, let me know.